Tucked away in the Aravalli hills of Rajasthan sits a sprawling 16th-century ruin. At its peak, Bhangarh was a thriving city of 9,000 homes. But if you walk through its stone streets today, you will notice a bizarre architectural anomaly. Not a single building has a roof. If you approach the main gates, you will find this blue notice board from the Archaeological Survey of India. It clearly states a strict legal prohibition. Entering the premises after sunset is completely forbidden. Ask the locals why, and they will offer two terrifying explanations. The first is a tale of dark magic. A practitioner named Singhia tried to bewitch the beautiful Princess Ratnavati using a tainted bottle of perfume. When she realized what he was doing, she threw the bottle onto a massive boulder. The spell caused the heavy stone to roll toward Singhia, and he was crushed to death by his own magic, cursing the entire city to rot with his final breath. The second legend points to an ascetic named Baba Balunath. He allowed the city's initial construction on one condition: the fort's shadow must never touch his meditation spot. A later, arrogant king built the walls too high, casting a shadow over the ascetic and triggering a curse that doomed everyone inside. Today, people report terrifying experiences within these walls. Visitors claim to hear women screaming, see dark shadows darting between ruins, and watch electronics completely malfunction the moment they step inside. Centuries of dark folklore, modern reports of failing electronics, and a strict government warning against nighttime entry all point to the same conclusion. Bhangarh appears to be a genuine paranormal hotspot, but digging into the facts reveals a completely different reality. Let's start with those curses. There is zero verified historical record that Princess Ratnavati or the dark magician Singhia ever existed. No inscriptions, no contemporary documents. The foundational characters of Bhangarh's most famous ghost story are entirely fictional. As for the government warning sign, the reasoning is purely administrative. Bhangarh is a centuries-old, crumbling ruin with zero lighting. Navigating highly unstable, collapsing stone structures in pitch darkness is a massive liability. Look at this photo of a striped hyena. This highlights the second, much more pressing reason for the nighttime ban. Bhangarh directly borders the Chalisa Tiger Reserve. After dark, the ruins are a hunting ground for apex predators, leopards, and scavengers. Those terrifying screams tourists report hearing at night, they perfectly match the high-pitched echoing calls of the native hyenas communicating through the empty corridors. The physical dread can be explained by acoustics. When wind howls through roofless stone structures, it converts into ultra-low frequency sound waves, known as infrasound. Your body feels these vibrations, triggering an acute biological stress response, inducing severe anxiety and the eerie sensation of being watched. Combine that physical dread with psychological phenomena like expectation bias and pareidolia. If you walk into a dark ruin already expecting to see ghosts, your brain actively searches for threats, forcing random piles of rubble and shadows to form human faces. So if curses didn't empty this massive city, what did? The decline started politically. As regional power shifted to the newly built capital of Jaipur, Bhangarh slowly lost its strategic and economic importance. Then, in 1783, nature delivered the final blow. The region was hit by the Chalisa famine. The rains failed for years, the earth cracked open, and a brutal, unrelenting drought starved huge sections of North India. Faced with a complete collapse of their food and water supply, all 9,000 residents had to make a choice: leave or die. They abandoned their homes in search of survival, leaving the once thriving metropolis completely empty. The city's final collapse came from the slow, indiscriminate devastation of the 1783 climate disaster. This leaves us with a curious psychological question. Why do we enthusiastically pass down an illogical ghost story while ignoring the verified historical truth? The truth of a random, agonizing famine is deeply depressing and entirely out of our control. A curse provides a clear villain. It offers an illusion of cause and effect, a satisfying narrative order in an otherwise chaotic world. Looking at this wide shot of the ruins today, there is also a massive economic incentive to keep the myth alive. The dark tourism industry thrives on these fictional tales, bringing thousands of visitors every day and heavily sustaining the local economy. The ghosts of Bhangarh are actually specific physical artifacts: wind howling through empty halls, the cries of wild animals, and a tragic human history that has been obscured by folklore. In Bhangarh, fear is a measurable reaction to infrasound, local wildlife, and the power of a well-told story.